Hey guys, welcome to the call. I'm so excited that you guys decided to join us. I know whether you're in Australia or the States, it's early or late either way. So it's a win-win for all of us. Um, I just am really excited to be on this call. My name's Emily. For those of you guys who don't know me, I am hosting this call today. And it's really just these ladies are near and dear to my heart. They're going to be sharing their stories about being a mom, some stay-at-home mom, and just what their life looks like with this opportunity that came into their life. So today is going to be all about them and their stories, but I will say I'm just going to give you guys some background on what we do, the company that we decided to partner with, and just what we're all about. So um, I think we can all agree that it's 2018 and health is not getting any more simple. It's just getting more complicated, although it doesn't need to be. I feel like everything I see out there is elimination, eliminate this, don't eat that. When in reality, I think we're missing what we should be eating. It's not necessarily what we aren't eating, or it's not necessarily what we are eating, it's what we're not eating. And so I love that we just have gotten back to the basics of whole food and whole food nutrition, because that's really, that's really where so many things come from, is getting good whole food nutrition, back to the basics. So I just, in a world of elimination and don't eat this, I love that we're kind of going against the grain and saying, let's help people get more whole food, fruits and vegetables and berries into their life. So for those of you who don't know what we do, we partnered with a company, a whole food nutritional company called Juice Plus. The company has been around for 50 years, and the product Juice Plus itself has been around for 25 years. It's the most researched nutritional product in the world. And you guys are probably thinking, well, what the heck is it? It's called juice. Is it a juice? It's not. It's actually whole food, basically mashed up, put into a capsule. The water and fibers are taken out, and we're left with a ton of good nutrients. So we partner with a ton of farmers so that they can really focus in on their specific crop that they bring to the party, if you say, and they get to make sure that this crop is vine ripened and really, full of nutrition, so that the food that is in the Juice Plus capsules is, just at its peak ripeness and has a lot of micronutrition. So with that, we have decided to partner with this company because we really see the big vision of and the mission of inspiring healthy living around the world. And these moms that I'm going to bring on the phone today have really just taken this business, and they'll be able to share their stories more, but they saw a vision for the people they could help, and they have a heart for helping people, and it's just an incredible thing. So I am so excited just to hear how they have turned just this passion of healthy living into a vehicle to really make their dreams come true, and really own their life in a world of moms dropping their kids off at daycare and leaving them months after having them, and basically getting paid just enough at work to pay for the daycare, to pay for the car, and to pay for the house they live in, just to all really do it in this vicious cycle. It's a beautiful thing that we have this business, and we're just really excited to share that with you guys today. So I'm not going to waste any more time. Let me make sure that I'm going in the right order here. I'm going to bring on my sweet friend, Julie. Julie, if you want to share your story and really touch on how this business has allowed you more flexibility and freedom.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Emily. I'm so excited to share. I found this amazing product 4 years ago, and the product instantly made sense, right? Fruits and vegetables in a capsule. It's a no-brainer. And I'll tell you what made it stand out is that I learned I could open up the capsule and give it to my son when he was 6 months old. That's when I knew this product was rare and there was nothing else like it. But at the same time that I learned about the product, I also learned about the business opportunity. And I didn't think that that was for me. At the time, I was in IT staffing, and I had a great career. I was the breadwinner for our family. My income was very lucrative. And so when I learned about this opportunity with the Juice Plus company, I kind of assumed, I don't know, maybe it was for people who stayed home, who wanted to make like $100 a month. I don't really know what it was, but I didn't think it was for me. But the product made total sense. So I started taking that, and about 2 months in, I'd had an amazing experience. I had more energy. I found that I was happier, which I later learned is because 80% of our serotonin is made in our gut. Fun fact. I had no more allergies that led to sinus infections. So I was on an antibiotic about every 7 to 8 weeks. And now I'm going on 4 years of no antibiotics and no sinus infections, which is crazy. And then I embraced more of this lifestyle program that we have called Shred 10. And I found that I was losing weight and just feeling amazing. So I was super curious and wanted to learn more about the product. And the more I was learning about the product, the more I was thinking of all these people in my life that needed to know about it, especially moms. I really believe that every mom deserves to know that there's kale and broccoli in a capsule or chewable. That needs to be baseline. If you become a mom, you need to know that this product exists. And so I decided I would engage in the business and start sharing it with people in my life who I believe deserve to know about this simple solution. And because I engaged in this business and got plugged into this community, I got exposed to the power of residual income and the power of network marketing. And, it really wasn't on my radar. And now I'm really passionate about sharing the fact that I believe the way that we do business is changing. Look at us all here. It's 6 a.m. our time. It's 10 p.m. In Australia, and we're connecting over this simple solution. I mean, our world is getting smaller and the opportunities are getting bigger. And so I just learned about the fact that there's a way to earn an income on a product that people need every single day. My 6-month-old son and my 87-year-old grandma take the same product. They take it every day, and at the bottom of a bottle, they need more. And that made sense to me. This provided me and my family with a lifetime family income stream. And so this was worth my time. And so I just kept plugging in and plugging in. And within about a year, this opportunity bridged the gap enough in our finances that I could leave that full-time job and be home with my kids and really plug into this business. And it wasn't that it replaced my income, but it bridged the gap enough. And that was an amazing, amazing benefit. And then Emily wanted me to touch on how this has provided freedom and flexibility for our family. And that it's really hard to sum that up. But I love to say that when I was working full-time, I had what I call golden handcuffs. And so they were golden because I was paid really, really well, but I was handcuffed. I was handcuffed to a boss. I was handcuffed to an alarm clock. I was handcuffed to 8 to 10 hours a day. I was handcuffed to a commute. I was handcuffed to their vacation schedule. So even though I was paid really well, I was stuck. And when I think about the freedom and flexibility that we have today, I think about our mornings. That's like my biggest example. When I worked full time, it was rush, rush, rush. I would pull my son out of the crib. I wouldn't even feed him breakfast. I remember I woke up at 4:30 in the morning. I would just take my son out of the crib, put him directly into the car seat, take him to daycare. And now, I have a 4 and a 2-year-old, and we wake up together, we eat breakfast together, we work out together in the morning. I mean, our mornings are casual and I love it. The other great example is just vacations. We take a lot of vacations with other family members where both parents are working, in corporate America, and it's really hard for them to get away. And they usually get away very late on a Friday night and they leave very early on Sunday morning. And my husband and I are always just adding time to our vacations. Okay, we'll leave on Thursday and we'll come back on Tuesday, because he has a lot of vacation and I have this amazing schedule where I can work from anywhere. So I just get to say yes to so many more things today than I ever got to before. And it's been such a blessing. So I'm excited you're listening to this, and I hope you look into it further. And at this point, I'm going to throw it to my friend Allie to share her story.
Hold on one second. Let me unmute y'all. And I'm just going to go ahead and ask you, Allie, since I have to unmute you anyways. Okay. Julie, that was so amazing. Allie, I'd love for you to share your story and touch on how this income has changed your financial story and your family.
Hi, yeah, my name's Allie, and I have 3 little ones. I have a 5-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 3-month-old. And I found out about Juice Plus 9+ years ago when I was single, living in New York City as a young nurse, and it did not make sense to me right away. I didn't know what I didn't know, and I was quite honestly way too cool for school. So I thought if it was that big of a deal, I would have learned about it in nursing school. And so I kind of brushed it off. I started taking it because my then boyfriend's mom was sending it to me, but I didn't really pay attention until I saw some physical changes in my own health. And I went from being a chronic antibiotic user like Julie to someone who hasn't filled a script in 9 years. But after about a year of that, I started realizing that there might be something to this. And as I started to learn the impact of nutrition on disease, it changed everything for me. First of all, I was blown away that nobody was talking about this in nursing school. Nobody was talking about it at the hospital. Nobody was discussing the impact of nutrition on disease. And that kind of lit this whole fire in me, because it felt like, whose job is it to tell people that what they're eating can change everything? Whose job is it? Why? Our teachers obviously aren't teaching it. Our doctors aren't talking about it. So unless you're seeing a dietitian or a nutritionist on a fairly regular basis, you're likely not being given this information that food changes everything. And so from a moral and ethical perspective, I felt like I should share this. I had to share this. It was not fair of me to have this info and not. And then I got pregnant with my first son, and a lot changed in our life, of course. And it became a switch for our family where we realized that I needed to be home. I needed to be an anchor. My husband works a lot of hours, and we have a small home base, or a small family business. And it's wonderful, but he needs me to be an anchor here. And now, as we've quickly added more people into the mix and more kids, I get to do that. I get to be here. I get to be here for everything. And that means when he's home, we get all our family time, whether that means in the middle of the day or in the evening or in the mornings, I'm around for all of it. And I don't want to be two ships passing in the night anymore. I don't want to be leaving for the hospital at 5 a.m. and have him coming home and never seeing each other. But that kind of was the lifestyle that we were setting up for ourselves unless we made a change. So I am unbelievably grateful for this opportunity coming into our life, because now our life looks exactly like I wanted. I could not dream it differently, because everybody's asleep right now, but when they wake up today, we can do whatever we want. The boys and I, and sweet baby Nell is a girl, but we can do anything today. And it's fun to be able to just wing it with them and to get to follow their path and just let them be little and be able to step into that with them and not miss that. So that has been really amazing. But the other side of this is I still get to work. I do pediatric cardiac intensive care, but I get to do it 2 days a month. And when I left the hospital after my first son, well, when I left full-time work after Hudson was born, I was stressed. I was overwhelmed. I was then working probably 50-ish hours a week, but in a very high intensity, very high stress job. And I get to step back, and now I look forward to going. I love going to that hospital. I love working with my coworkers and doing a job that I feel like I'm really good at, but I love it because I don't have to do it. This is the best way, because I really get to embrace and love that and do that out of passion and purpose, and not so much out of obligation and the need for money. I get to do both jobs out of passion and purpose, and that is a dream.
Okay, I'm typing in the chat right now. Like, I literally have chills, because I love all of these stories. If you guys haven't figured out yet, if you guys are on this call today, or if you're listening to the recording, these ladies are the real deal, and they have the best stories ever. So thank you so much, Allie. Okay, Tawala, I'm going to bring you on so that you can share your amazing story with us and really touch on what this mission, how it's given you purpose in your life and how it's changed your life. So take it away.
Thanks so much for that, Em. So my name is Tawala. I am a mum of a 1-year-old boy, and I'm currently pregnant with our second baby. So about 4 to 5 months ago, my good friend Danielle introduced me to the Juice Plus business. At this time, I had so much going on with being pregnant and trying to keep up with our 1-year-old son. And also taking care of my dad, who unfortunately was in his last weeks off with cancer. Every day for me at that time, it felt like the biggest struggle to get through. both physically and emotionally. I guess I just constantly felt exhausted, like I had zero energy to do anything. Um, but you know what? When Danielle messaged me and showed me Juice Plus, like even at that time, amongst all the chaos, it was a real eye opener for me. It forced me to take a good look at myself and my health, and the health of my children. And one of the most obvious things was that I wasn't nourishing myself, my unborn child, or my son with um, any goodness, because things were so hectic for me at that time that I was just pretty much resorting to unhealthy, quick and convenient food because I felt like that's all I had time for. Um, but when I was shown Juice Plus, I saw so much opportunity for so many different things. One of the best things for me is more family time. Like, you know, being pregnant again, I didn't want the stress of having to rush back to work, of having to put both my kids into childcare, and also just having my partner with all the stress of our financial bills and things like that. So Juice Plus really opened my eyes to us having more freedom as a family, more quality time together, more chances to say yes to the luxuries in life. And I think other than our health, that is the most important thing, is all of us being able to do things together more often. Um, so since saying yes to Juice Plus, it's been amazing. Like, I have never felt better in my life. And it's only been a short time, but honestly, like I swear by the capsules, and my son has them every day as well. He literally just puts them in his mouth and just chews them down like it's nothing. So we're all enjoying it as a family, and you know, like, it's just something that I feel like the world needs to know more about. Like, and so much people are missing out because of fear of the unknown, or purely just because, you know, they don't know what's good for them. They're uneducated, and being given the opportunity to be able to share that with the world and educate people is one of my favorite parts of this. And just to touch base on the purpose in my life, to be honest, before Juice Plus, other than the moment that my son was born, I never really took the time out to think about what my purpose in life would be. Literally, I would wake up, tend to baby, tend to our dog, and then spend the rest of the day trying to keep the both of them occupied until it was time to cook dinner and hubby was coming home from work. But now, since having Juice Plus in my life, no 2 days are the same anymore. Like, and it's the best thing about it. I wake up and I think, you know, who can I reach out to today? Who can I make a difference to today? And I think if you have something in your grasp that is so amazing and has the power to do so much good in so many lives, and you can share that with the world, I think there is nothing more fulfilling than that. And for me, like, I truly will always be thankful for having Juice Plus, not just for myself, but for my family, and, you know, just being able to share that around. So yeah.
Oh my gosh, Tawala, so amazing. I've never heard like your full story. I love that. And I always love to catch on to Danielle and really anyone out of the States, like your guys' like little sayings. And I love that, like, everyone should have something in their grasp like this. I love it. Thank you so much. I really am just so inspired by you guys today. And we've already touched on so many things. And yeah, you guys have really just brought everything to the table. I'm obviously not a mom, but one day I will be. And you guys are like my biggest inspiration. And I'm going to be coming, blowing up your phone with all the questions. But I just love what this business has given you guys. And I feel like we've already touched on, you know, allowing more family time. And I know one of the speakers couldn't make it with us today, which is no big deal. That's the flexibility of this business. And she had some things that she needed to be at. But I'm just going to I didn't plan on doing this, but I actually just feel like it's on my heart. Is there anything that you three want to touch on that you may have forgotten, or maybe it struck a chord and you wanted to bring up before we wrap up this call today?
I just want to say one thing about family time. So the beautiful thing about this is you get to structure and design who you work with. So family for me is bigger than just the people that are in my blood. Now, this has become a family business for me because I married into it with my husband's family. I do this with my mother-in-law and my sister-in-law, but we also get to bring in our people. We get to create our family. We get to create the people that we are going to build community with and that we're going to get to do life with. And those become your coworkers and those become, so how amazing is it to get to decide who those people are going to be in your life?
I wanted to say my favorite quote. Allie is so quotable, but my favorite quote that she said was, "My life looks exactly how I wanted it to look." And I've never thought about that, but my life looks way better than I ever thought it could look. I said before, and Emily always quotes me, I said, "I'm jealous of my own life." And that's truly how I feel. And in a situation where I think a lot of us are just going through the motions, and I didn't know any better. And I think most of us on this call, before we learned there was a better way, we didn't know any better. So I just hope you'll feel encouraged to continue to look into it, because that's what I did. I dug really, really deep, and the deeper I dug, the better it got. So just keep looking into it. It sounds too good to be true, and it's even better than you think.
I love that, Julie. I love it. Jealous of my own life. Well, if you guys are listening to this call today, or even listening to the recording, you guys are probably thinking, okay, yeah, right. How can I make this work for me? What's the details? What's the catch up? And there is the fine print, if you say, is it's so simple. It's $50 to get started, to partner with the company. In Australia, it's a bit different, but it's very comparable. And basically, my favorite part, you guys, especially one day when I will be a mom, is we only have one responsibility, and that's to share Juice Plus. The company does the rest of everything else for us. They manufacture the product, they ship the product, they bill the customer, and they pay us direct deposit. So I don't know if it could get any easier. I always laugh and say, like, we don't have to have a stockpile of Juice Plus in our garage. The company does all of that for us, and it's fresh, straight from the farms. And it's just a really cool concept that I believe will be on every single kitchen table. It's just a matter of time. So I'm so glad you guys are listening to these amazing stories today and getting just to hear about this vehicle of how they're making money online, because I can tell you, I'm sure when they get their direct deposit each month, it's just a blessing after a blessing to know that most days, I'm pretty sure, I've seen it first-handedly, that those mamas are at the park on their smartphone, being with their kids, being in the moment, living in the moment, and they get paid for it. And it's such a beautiful thing. And I mean, the lives that are being changed because of it is even, I mean, all the things, you guys, we've touched on so many points, and I'm just so inspired this morning. So thank you, Twala and Julie and Allie, just for sharing your guys' hearts this morning. I actually shared, so my best friend helped me get started in this business when I was in college. I started this business going on 5 years ago. So I've been with the company now for almost 5 years, and it has been a huge blessing in my life. Never would have thought at the age of 21 I would have started something that I will forever do. I work this business full time, and I'm 25, and I get the flexibility to travel when I want and say yes to things when I want. And being the youngest of 3 siblings, and my older 2 siblings, a meteorologist and a pharmacist, I can say that I have more flexibility than a lot of my family. And it's just really cool that they support me in this, and they too love their Juice Plus. And so, but yeah, my best friend who got me started in this, Casey, she is my upline in this business, and she just had her baby last night. So this is just such an awesome time to actually have this call this morning of moms in business. And Julie made a good point that right now, even when she is in the hospital with her baby this morning, this business continues to flourish and grow, and we continue to tell people. And the power in that residual income, you guys, I always say, if people truly knew what residual income is, they would run through a brick wall to get to it. And for me, it was when my paycheck went up the month my best friend passed away in this business. my paycheck went up and I had to step away from my business for a full month. And residual income is, I don't think I really knew what it was until that very moment. So it's a beautiful thing. And if there's anything I want to end on is don't wait to create it until you need it. Create it now so that it's there when you need it, because having a plan B is so smart. So thank you guys so much for joining us this evening, this morning, whatever that may look like for you. I love that we can connect. Juice Plus is in 26 different countries. So if you guys know anyone, I'm pretty sure we can somehow get Juice Plus to them. And yeah, thank you guys so much for sharing your hearts. And if I can leave you on one final thing, it's just asking yourself, where do you want to be in 6 months, a year, 5 years? Because I can promise you that what you're doing today is leading you to where you'll be at that 6 month mark, at that year mark, at that 5 year mark. And the smallest choices lead up to the biggest things in life. So we invite you to say yes with us. We invite you to join us and to get with the person who invited you to learn more. And thank you guys so, so, so much.